Hi friends and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emmy. I'm a singer-songwriter from Toronto and you're watching my YouTube channel. So I've been making YouTube videos for over 10 years now and I love sharing music that I love in the form of covers or originals. And if you're watching this, then it means that we've reached 20,000 subscribers. Yay! I just wanted to thank you so much for being here and I really appreciate all your support. Today I brought my friend Nana. This is Nana the banana and I'm wearing these cool like grape earrings that I got from Etsy. So in honor of this new milestone, I wanted to do a little Q&A to kind of get to know each other a little bit better. So a few days ago I posted on my Instagram story asking what you guys wanted to know. But before we jump into that, I want to hear from you guys. So leave a comment saying what your name is and where you're from. So the first question is, what's your music creation process like? So for my original songs, I would say that the creative process definitely varies and there's no one formula that I found that works, but I've learned to embrace that. So I either start with a chord progression and write melody and lyrics on top, or I also have a notebook where I write little poems and then I turn them into songs. So speaking of chord progression, someone asked what my favorite one was, and I really like the 2-5-1 progression. And as for my YouTube video creation process, I find that the best way is to reduce the friction or the barrier to recording. So this past year, making short form video has really helped to break down those barriers and get me into the habit of creating regularly. So the next question is, do you have a job to support you as a musician, or is doing music enough to support you? So I do have a full-time job in marketing, which I love. And for me personally, the goal isn't to turn music into a career, although that would be really cool. I also think I'm very fortunate to have a job that is relevant to my passion of content creation. And I feel like it's actually really helpful for my music and vice versa. I got a couple of people asking about any EP or album plans, and I do have something in the works, so stay tuned. Thank you for your interest. The next question is, would you apply to singles Inferno 3? So for those of you who don't know, I love reality shows and I loved Singles Inferno. But the answer is no, I would not. I am a very private person and just the idea of my parents watching me on reality TV, it just gives me the ick. Any specific bossa nova artist or song that inspired on your mind? By the way, it's time for you to come to Brazil. So not a specific artist, but I've always been into bossa nova because I really like the kind of coffee shop jazz genre. 한국에서 캐나다로 몇 살 때 가신가용? So I came to Canada when I was about 6 years old and I had no idea how to speak English, just learned on the spot. Yeah, looking back, I mean, I kind of wish I knew more of what Korea was like, but I have no regrets about our immigration to Canada. So a couple people asked about my music training background. So I had a really great teacher who you may be familiar with, which is YouTube. I'm a firm believer in being a lifelong learner, so no matter what stage of life you're at, there's always room to learn something new. So if you are interested in picking up guitar or learning to sing, my advice is always to pick a song that you really like and want to learn and just copy what they do. Look up some tutorials and keep practicing until you master it. Next question is, do you have any advice for your 16-year-old self? My biggest advice would probably be to take it easy on yourself, because when you're young, it could feel like school and academics and grades are like everything. And I remember falling into the trap of kind of comparing myself to others and wondering why I couldn't be as confident as others. But I think I would have just loved to be reminded to not put too much pressure on myself and that things will eventually work out in the end. Next question is, have you ever met Keshi IRL? No, but I am going to his concert in March, so hoping to see him. So for those of you who don't know, Keshi is a really big inspiration of mine and inspired me to release my original songs. How many Casio watches do you own? So this one is very specific, but I actually own 3 Casio watches, one of which is a G-Shock or a Baby G. I really like watches. I think I just like the look of it and how it's both fashionable and functional. What got you into skating? So I originally got into skating as a means of short distance transportation, but I fell in love with skating and it kind of feels like you're riding a magic carpet on wheels. And if you've never skated before, I would highly recommend it. I think the way that I approach music is very similar to my mindset about skating, which is that, you know, it's a solo hobby. I enjoy it. I hone in my craft. But when I meet other people who do the same thing and collaborate with them, it's like so much more fun. How did you settle on your musical style? So I wouldn't say that I'm fully settled in my style yet. I think it's always constantly evolving. However, I do think that covering a lot of different songs has helped me find the style and what fits with my vocal range. So someone asked, what's your favorite thing about Canada? And I would say it's the CN Tower. I love the CN Tower. Every time I see it, I love to take pictures of it, and it's actually my phone wallpaper. The next question is, can you show your birds and what you plan on doing with music in the future? So I can't show you my birds right now, but I'll make a separate video with them. I think what I plan to do with my music in the future is honestly to take it one day at a time. I used to be the kind of person that would plan out my goals years in advance, but the goals that I had like 2 or 3 years ago is not the same ones that I have now. And I think I've learned to just embrace those changes and have a bit of flexibility in where I'm going in the future. I think it'd be really cool to play my own show and release an EP, but as of now, no solid plans, just continuing with consistency on my YouTube channel, growing my TikTok, etc. And the last question that I'll answer for today is, can you tease a new project? So I will include a clip of my latest project.
Drown the noises out of reach. Keep your eyes on me and see that we can be the last two people.
And that concludes the Q&A. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If I didn't get to your question, feel free to DM me, or maybe I'll make another one of these videos eventually. Yay, we're so excited for 20K. Nana and I say bye. Bye, see you in the next one.